I think it's been pretty good actually. From what I can tell, it seems like we're actually getting like a lot of new fans, which is pretty cool. Like a lot of the younger kids, I think. A lot of younger kids.
Yeah.
And they're starting to like realise who we are and stuff. Starting to like it, and get into it. But it's been pretty cool, man. It's been pretty good so far.
Some people seem to think it was a bit
mediocre
to the old stuff. I disagree actually, with respect, I disagree. I think the songs are better put together. I think there's a different level of technicality in the way the riffs are as well, isn't there?
And the song structures are better. Yeah. It's all a lot quicker.
And I think as a whole it hangs together better. There's like various, you know what I mean? Various different bits and it goes into one whole better than previously.
Yeah.
But mostly it's been good for the most part.
Yeah.
Well, so it was released by Candlelight. It's much more bigger label than Fito Records. But I ask you, why did you decide to sign to Candlelight Records, and if you are satisfied with it? And in addition, despite their restrictions in releasing promo CDs, the album leaked about a month before its release. So, can you tell about something about it?
Well,
that's two different kettles of fish. That is.
Yeah. The promo thing I can understand because basically they send out. Well, firstly they have to pay for 1,000 CDs that they're going to have to give away.
They don't. That's not how the promotion's done this time. It's digital.
Well,
oh right. I see.
So I'm going to say they have to press all these CDs and basically give them all out to people who basically just put them on the internet.
Yeah.
So what they've done is they do it digitally now, and each person
has its own
code or something.
Yeah.
And one person they found out, and she got sacked. Here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was one individual person because I downloaded myself some of the different versions, and they've all got a mistake in them. And
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
I'm the Red of God and Desolation of Earth music.
Yes, and track 9 has got a piece of music missing, so you can tell it's from one version.
Yeah.
But yeah, they tracked it down to one. But why would you do that? I mean, we're never going to be millionaires doing this doing this music. And if we wanted to make loads of money, we could do different music. We do this because we want to, because we think it's a good thing. And it hurts us if we don't get any record sales, because the record company drop us. We don't get any money to do the next album, and you know. At the same time, there's a good bit, because there's lots of people out there who would never have heard our music who now can hear it. But it's, why couldn't they just wait for the album to come out? I would have been happy if we just could have got to the release date.
That's the thing. I don't mind people download. I mean, everyone downloads music, but it just bothers me if they download it before it's come out, because everyone's like, oh yeah, I've heard that. You know, it's not like wow, that new record like.
It makes it seem kind of pointless in a way. It's not pointless, but it takes away some of the anticipation, some of the excitement, and kills it basically. The Candlelight thing. I had a question about this in another interview the other day, and I said lots of people ask that question, so I can only assume that lots of people want to know the answer. Unfortunately, it's really boring. It's a fucking boring answer, man. Yeah. You think, right, we've done stuff on some label, Season of Mist in France, right, let's have a go on mixed label, okay, that went okay, should we do that again or should we do something else? Let's try something else, just find out what happens. We could have done it on Fito, it went okay before, but fuck it, let's try something else. So you speak to a few labels, and you know, some of them often different things. You know, the contracts are different, but the contract from Candlelight made sense. It was all right. It gave us enough money to record the album, and they're a decent label.
They've
got Emperor on them, so they're big enough to handle us.
Like Fito is more of a DIY kind of thing, whereas Candlelight is more of a proper business. They've got like people doing their PR and internet stuff and all that, so we can just give them their record and they can take care of all that side of things.
Yeah, it's a lot easier for us to have a proper label. So we spoke to a few different labels, and Candlelight's contract was alright, and they've got experience with this kind of music, and they've got Emperor, so they're quite big, they've got the capacity. And I said it was going to be a boring answer.
Next question.
Okay. Well, I've noticed that the recording of the new CD was announced, well, it's almost even a year. So I guess that it...
It's about start of autumn last year.
So in the last interview we did with Mortem Zine with you, you said that if you want to record some Anaal Nathrakh stuff, you just sit down and you have the new CD done in several weeks or days even. But so I wonder if you did something different this time.
No, nothing different. The only thing that was different is it was done in blocks, separated blocks, because I only write Anaal Nathrakh music when I'm not in America, basically. I came back at one time and like wrote the album, and then I went back to America.
You recorded it there, didn't you?
No, I wrote it all, then I went away, came back, then recorded it all, and then went away, and then came back, and then Dave did the vocals. So it could have been done in a short block, but it was like split up into sections, if you know what I mean.
I think the question is more about the idea of not having to sit there with like musical notation and sit there for ages, and the fact that you can write it.
It was actually written just the same. Just like locked myself away for a few weeks and just basically hammer it out, you know, and get it down.
You even said in that interview that you might get Steve Powell to drum for the new CD. So why it didn't happen?
I think it's just more. I think if we did do real drums, it would probably change the sound too much.
I think it's unnecessary.
And it's not, and there's no real reason to do it because it wouldn't sound any different.
Well, actually, the program drums on the new CDs sounds even better than the real.
Well, that's the thing. If you get Steve to play it, he can play it. He plays it live, but the way Mick writes, he gets a feeling and does it quickly. And if you've got to stop and you've got to make a demo of it, give it to the drummer, learn that. Maybe he gets a few bits wrong, and you say change that, and then basically play exactly the same thing as what he can do with a computer, and then work really hard to get exactly the same sound as he would use anyway. It's like
Point.
There's no need, man. There's no need, because it's not really about someone playing the drums, how good they compare. It's more about the overall sound of a record. So
I don't hear a drum machine when I listen to it.
it's just a sound. It's like
that's a tribute to the fact that you do it properly.
yeah.
You know, it'd be dead obvious if we didn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, if I sucked at programming the drums and it sounded shit, then I'd get someone to play, you know. But I think it sounds pretty cool. So
There comes a point when it becomes irrelevant what's making the sound. You've just got the sound, you know, and who cares where it came from, as long as it sounds good.
When we play live, we do a real drummer, and he's fucking pretty crazy.
He's
good.